This is my 1,000 gallon indoor pond. As you can see though, it's in pretty rough shape and in need of some major upgrades, especially in the filtration department. That is why I went on to Facebook Marketplace and purchased this 55 gallon olive barrel for just $25 and converted it into a massive canister filter. The reason I chose this kind of barrel in particular over one of the blue 55 gallon barrels is this barrel has a screw-on lid with an O-ring. This allows the system to be pressurized without water leaking out the top. So after I had my barrel, I decided to go ahead and just draw out my designs on my tablet, and I was able to also brainstorm a few different ideas that might be implemented in this project. However, I did not end up implementing them in the end, as I kind of just wanted to get proof of concept before I went all out and added stuff like you may have seen the backwash system. Drawing these designs out also allowed me to create my parts list, so I'm not running around at the hardware store looking for stuff I don't really need for this. It just makes it a bit more organized. So obviously this is a very simple design. We kind of just have an intake coming in from 1-inch PVC from the pump, and that PVC goes through a bulkhead and is nested inside a larger 2-inch PVC pipe that extends to the bottom of the barrel and goes through an elbow. That way the water is then forced to the bottom of the barrel and can be forced out from there through a shorter length of PVC with holes drilled in it. Then the water will percolate up through the media, which I chose lava rock as that's what was in the previous filter. I just decided to wash it out and reuse it. Nothing wrong with that. It's just biological filtration. And then from there the water will exit through the output on the top of the barrel. Alright, so I'm back from the store now, and I have all of the stuff that I will need to complete this build. I bought 2 of these, which is a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch threaded adapter. Threads fit into a 1/2 inch or 1.5 inch threaded into the threaded bulkhead, the 1/2 inch threaded bulkhead. And that allows me to connect a 1 1/4 inch pipe to the 1.5 inch diameter bulkhead. Another thing I bought were these 2 unions right here. This is a 1 1/4 inch union, and then this is a 1-inch union. These were 2 of the more expensive parts, but I felt they were necessary because on my previous build back there, I didn't have unions, and it was getting annoying. So I decided to just buy these 2 unions, and this will allow me to disconnect my outflow and my inflow, and enable me to move this lid around freely. Anyway, I bought that, and then I bought this 2-inch pipe for the barrier between the lava rock and the main inflow. Now I drilled a hole in this one because, as you'll see, second. Alright, so as you'll see, this goes on the because it has a hole in it, this enables me to slide over top of this. Then a 2-inch pipe will continue the outflow down to the bottom of the barrel, where it will go into an elbow and then connect to a shorter length of pipe with holes drilled in it, and then the water will then be stopped by this end cap and be forced out through the holes in the shorter length of pipe. Alright, so anyway, I have all my parts now, and so I'm going to go cut the pipes to fit all this, and I have to also make sure I get the right depth so that this, or I have to make sure I get the right height so that this, once this is stationary in the barrel, this specialized end cap right here will fit over top of this input right here. So anyway, let's do that. Alright, so we got our PVC here, got my elbow on there, and I got my end cap. Let's test fit it. Put that on there, so as you can see there, it fits in there perfect. Let's see if it goes to the bottom. And that is as good as it gets right there. That's perfect. Perfect fit. Now, we need to take this out of here. Obviously that won't fall once there's rock in there, so anyway, let's measure. I want to try to get as much water flowing through the bottom as I can. So let's just go with measure that there. So if that's going to sit roughly right about there, let's make the bottom, the short bottom piece 10, 11. That sits roughly right there. Let's make the short bottom piece 11 inches long. So I'll go cut that one now. Alright, we got our short piece now. We'll put the cap on. Put it on here. And so this whole assembly right here is going to fit inside the barrel just like so. Let's hope I got that measurement right. I'm putting this in here like so. Let's hope I got it right, and that is perfect. What do we have to do now? We have to drill the holes in the bottom down there. Alright, so as you can see, I drilled my holes here, but I didn't drill them on the bottom of the tube because really there's no need to. And also you want to make sure that there's some sort of resistance so that the water is forced out through top, because otherwise the water is just going to pour out of here, and it will still pour out of here, except it'll be going upwards in the direction that we want it to. So yeah, I think all that's left now is to disassemble the mess over there, and then yeah. These next shots show the media I'm going to be using for this filter, which is just some crushed red lava rock that you would normally use in a fireplace or fire pit. I've been using this stuff in my old filter though, which is why I added it to this one. It's already pre-seeded with bacteria, and I just had to move the old filter out of the way in order to install this one. Unfortunately though, halfway through the process of adding the rock, the bottom PVC pipe came disconnected from the elbow, and I had to spend a considerable amount of time trying to fish the small length of PVC out of the bottom so I could reinstall it with a better connection. On my next project, I will definitely be gluing these fittings so that I will not have to deal with this again. It just took up way too much time, and it was just really annoying, so yeah, I need to glue the connections next time. Alright, so I got it nice, I got it clean enough over there where I can move this now. I gotta figure out, it's not too heavy, so I should be able to just lift it right over the pond and set it on the far side. There we go. Alright, so now we got a clean shot of that. This is ready to go. Here. All right, now let's try picking this up. So it's in place now, but now I need to move the rock from that barrel right there into that one. So after I shot this clip, I decided to take a break and eat dinner, but before I did so, I figured it might be a good idea to install and glue all my PVC fittings. That way they would be dry and ready to go once I came back. It wasn't too exciting, so I didn't film it, but anyway, here is the result. Alright, so I got all the fittings glued, everything is in place now, and really the only thing left to do is turn it on and see what happens. So yeah, I guess the first test, and I do have to get this back up and running because they've been without a pump running or filter or anything for a while now, so I should probably get this back up and running. They're doing alright though, so anyway, I'm going to put this camera back up on the tripod and then we can test it. Alright, let's turn it on. Now this is obviously going to become very, very cloudy, and I still have to get the pump set, but at least it is running and I can change the water in it tomorrow. Alright. There's water flowing in. I'm just waiting for it to hit the top. So far there's no leaks around here. There's definitely air coming out of here, but that's a good thing. I mean, it's watertight and there's more coming out now, so that means it's getting closer to the top. We shall see. You can kind of hear it. The system's definitely going to be much, much quieter than the previous one. Hopefully it'll get much, much cleaner as well. Oh. And there it is. Alright, so yeah, I got these leaks fixed. When I did the fix, I basically just took those cork spacers that were in there before. I just put them up here. There is one small leak, but that's coming from up here. There's a slight drip, but that's only because this connection is not glued. I'm not too worried about it though. It's contained in here. But anyway, yeah, this is working very, very well. I'm very happy with this. This water is coming out, I mean, that's crystal clear. So compared to what that is, so this is working very, very, very well. I'm very happy with this. I would like to add this. I think this could look really nice on here, but the main thing I have to do is I have to bring a connection down here. What I'll probably end up doing is bringing this down and changing this to a flexible tubing. That way I can run it down the back, and I'll probably end up building some sort of nice wall on the back there, and then have that waterfall down the middle, and I think that could look really nice. Another option will be to use this big rock as a waterfall, which it really all depends on how much humidity it generates.